what's going on. So I had this drama with this load where half the load, 25 of 52 pallets, got rejected. And Clorox wanted me to take it all the way back up to Oregon, and I got really mad at that. And I was given the alternative that I could take it to Tracy, California instead. All the way up to Springfield would have been 900 miles. Tracy is 400 miles. And they're basically paying me $1 a mile to do it. And on the Tracy, I'm deadheading back down to San Bernardino. So it's 400 miles there, 400 miles back, 800 miles, and they're paying like $530. What I actually make on the load is somewhere around $400. So I'm making like 50 cents a mile on this load because of Clorox is fucked up. But I see him walking around on the right side of the truck. And cars will just whip around you on the right side over here in California. You move over for somebody. I just had a four-wheeler try to pass me on the right when I moved over for that truck. Stupid jackass. Not this one. The next one that's coming around me. Stupid idiot. It's like a carload of morons. Anyway, I said I was going to try to make this a short video. Let's get back onto that. So, I typically don't move over in California unless I have plenty of room. Because if there's any cars near you, they will just whip over into the right to pass you if you move over for anybody in California. But I had probably a quarter to a half a mile of no cars behind me. That's the only reason I moved over for Schneider. I think this is where I stopped to take my 30. This rest area right here. I think this might be the one that I stopped to take my 30 at on the way down. I can't remember. I think that is the one. Just a second here. Yeah. It's got the big speed bumps on it, I think. Yeah, that looks like the one. I don't know, they all kind of look the same. But I shouldn't have to take a 30 on this. I should be able to make it there in about 7 hours. So, luckily I don't think I'm going to have to take a 30. So, I had the drama with this load. Not only do I make no money on this, like 50 cents a mile, I don't even think that covers my fuel costs, let alone my other expenses. So, I don't even know if this is a break-even load. It may be costing me money to move Clorox's shit around. And it just upsets me to think about it. I basically spent a week on this load. I picked up this load Wednesday morning of last week, and I just finally finished the last delivery on it Monday morning. So Wednesday through Monday on a single load that is basically a break-even load. I don't even know if I made any money on it. It's like an entire week dealing with Clorox's cheap freight. It just really makes me question whether or not I should pull any cheap freight in the future. Because the only reason you really pull cheap freight is to get you somewhere that pays well. My rule is you either take something that pays well or you take something that gets you to a place that pays well. So I will take cheap loads, and you kind of have to do it in this market. There are people who just say don't ever hold cheap freight. That's not possible. Like if you don't ever haul cheap freight, then you might go out of business. Like, whoever the idiot is that's saying that stupid crap is not operating in the same market that we are. They might have a dedicated route or something, or they're a company driver that's just talking nonsense they don't know anything about. All those people that are just, don't ever haul cheap freight, and if you haul cheap freight, you're an idiot. Those people, yeah, I would love to not haul cheap freight. I avoid it when I can, but you know, if I've got to go 1,000 miles to get out of a market, it's in my best interest to haul a break-even load that's cheap to get out of that market rather than just deadheading. Unfortunately, this one bit me in the ass. It was a cheap load, and I had to keep hauling it around at the same damn rate for another, you know, several days. So it's really upsetting. I need to send a message to the driver managers today to figure out if I can deliver this load early. It's a drop on the delivery, drop loaded trailer, and the only two places I know of that will not take you early on a drop are Walmart and Target. You cannot arrive early to Walmart and Target on drops. You have to arrive within your delivery window. So I need to message and find out if I can deliver this early and how early. And that's going to affect whether or not I go to my house on the way, I go through Oklahoma City, or I just go straight there. If I can deliver it as early as possible. Anyway, let's come back to this theory crafting here in a minute. Let's get back to my day. So I had this crap load, and Clorox said that I had to take it to Springfield. I told them no. They gave an alternative to take it to Tracy, California instead. I finally agreed to that after much ranting and raving and demanding of more money. But USA Truck told me that Clorox has a contract, and it's a very, very explicit contract, and like every possible scenario is covered in their contract. And it says how much they're charged for everything that happens. And they said because Clorox is such a big company, the contract is heavily, sided in their favor. So in order for USA Truck to get the contract with them, they had to sign a lopsided contract that's in Clorox's favor. It gives them access to a lot of freight, but the freight doesn't really pay much of anything. So whoever the idiot is that makes contracts over USA Truck needs to be taken out back to the woodshed and beat with a rubber hose. Because what the fuck is the point in getting a contract to haul break-even freight? Go out and find a contract with somebody that you can actually make money on. But unfortunately, over here on these brokered loads on the west, outside of USA Truck's normal operating area, Clorox is about the only major account they have over here. The last two loads I've hauled have both been Clorox loads. Now the one going to Portland paid okay, but the one coming out of Portland paid really bad. And USA Truck tried to guilt trip me into taking this, back up to Tracy or Springfield, Oregon. And they tried to tell me that, they didn't make any money on this either. They're in the same boat as me, and that's a load of bullshit. They have got to be taking another cut on top of this. There's no way cut, then I'm not getting 65%. I'm getting lower than 65% if they're double brokering it. But anyway, that's another video, another rant. So Clorox, another thing that they screwed me over on is they said that they wouldn't let me, they wouldn't give me a delivery appointment to get this shit off the trailer until Monday morning. So all this drama happened Thursday night, Friday morning, 12 a.m. Friday, and I couldn't deliver it 400 miles away, Tracy, California. I couldn't deliver it until Monday morning, 8:15 a.m. was when my appointment was. So I got up this morning. Okay, so I stayed at the TA in Ontario, California, which is in the LA area. I stayed there until Saturday morning. Saturday morning, I drove up to Santanella, which is 50 miles south of Tracy. There are no truck stops in Tracy. And I had like a full day and a half. And I thought, you know what, I'll just stay here in Tracy, or in Santanella at the TA, get a shower. And then Sunday afternoon, I drove to Tracy, and it's a big industrial park. The place that I was delivering to, it's not gated. They don't have a security guard, checking people in and out. And it's a huge place with tons of truck parking. So I just got there Sunday afternoon, about 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and stayed there for the night, right there at the shipper or receiver. Parked right across from their docks, and some truck parking places they had. There was hardly anybody there, and I was parked right across from the dock I ended up unloading at. And I wanted to get there that early so that I could be sure that I could take 10 hours off, and I wouldn't. Google just told me to continue on I-5 South, really, as opposed to driving out into this field or something. Google just does dumb shit like that. But my appointment was at 8. I wanted to get there with plenty of time because I was fairly certain that the receiver opened up at approximately 6 a.m. 6 a.m. is roughly when they start opening these places up. So I wanted to be there right when they open at 6 a.m. And I wanted to have my full 10 done so that I wouldn't have to sit around waiting for my 10 to be able to leave. If they could get me unloaded early, I wanted to be able to leave as soon as they got me unloaded. Well, I got in there at 6:15, and they got me checked in, and they gave me a door, and they started unloading me immediately. They got me unloaded pretty quick. I left there sometime around 7:15, maybe 7:30, I forget exactly when. Let me see. My rest is in an hour and 40 minutes, so an hour and 40 minutes ago is when I left, and it is 9:05 a.m. So 9 a.m., an hour and 40 minutes, it'll be like, what, 7:20? Yeah, 7:20 is whenever I started my pre-trip. That was pretty much whenever they were done. Well, after they finished loading me, I went and got my paperwork, and then I started my pre-trip. So they finished loading me probably around 7:10 because I had to wait in line behind somebody else to get my paperwork. And then it took a little bit to fill out the paperwork and make a copy for me. By a bunch of cars that are tailgating each other, and they're driving way too close to each other. I knew they were going to be cutting me off to pass on the right, so. And I started out in California doing 56. Everybody was passing me, so then I sped up to 60. Everybody was still passing me. Now I'm doing 62. There's a huge pack of trucks coming up to pass me right now. I don't know how many trucks are in that pack. I see like 4 or 5. There's a bunch of trucks about to pass me, and I'm doing 62 and a 55. Like, I don't know what the hell speed trucks in California are driving, but the speed limit for trucks is not enforced in California. Maybe I should be going 65. I don't know. 15, 20 years ago when I was driving in California, if you were going 58, Highway Patrol would pull you over. I don't understand it. Like, if they're not going to enforce it, then get rid of the damn speed limit. But I don't know if I'm willing to go faster than 62. I don't know if I want to risk a 10 over ticket. I don't want to get any speeding ticket, but man, it was just dangerous going 55 in California because everybody was freaking out at how slow I was going. I was just constantly being cut off by trucks, like pissed off at how slow I was going. So they got me in and out of there really quick. Now what does that do for me? Well, if they would have taken their sweet ass time, then what would ended up happening is once I made it down here back to San Bernardino, I have an appointment at 11 p.m. tonight to get loaded for a load that's going 1,800 miles to New Orleans. It's going to Lacombe, Louisiana. It's just northeast of New Orleans. Nolens. Get some, redneck French in there, some Cajun. Nolens. Now, if they get me unloaded early, I can make it all the way down here to San Bernardino by like roughly 2 p.m. And I can take a full 10-hour break by the time I get loaded. And so once I get loaded, then I can drive my full 11. And that makes a big difference in like my possibilities, because it's approximately 3 hours out of route to go by my house in Oklahoma City. And I haven't been home in almost a month. I need to go home. Need. Not a want, a need. There are things that I need to do at home. So there's a couple of, like, now I know that I'm going to be able to take a full 10. If they would have loaded, if they wouldn't have gotten around to me until my appointment time at 8:15, and then they would have taken their time to unload me, then I would have had to take a 10 basically after I got loaded, and that would set me back by 10 hours. And it really wouldn't be worth it to try to swing by my house at that point, because I would have had almost exactly 10 hours at my house, and I would need to sleep. It wouldn't be like I could just stay up for that 10 hours, because like I would be driving my full 11, and then as soon as I left my house, I would need to drive my full 11 again, and I would be running really hard against my clock to deliver the load on time. So I wouldn't really be able to hang out of my house and do anything. So the 10 hours that I would be able to go to my house for, I would really need to be sleeping during that time instead of trying to do stuff in my house. Like I need to do laundry and a whole bunch of shit. But with me being able to leave as soon as I get loaded, that puts me in a position where I could potentially have like 16, 18 hours that I could be at my house, which gives me enough time to get fully rested and have 5, 6, 8 hours to do laundry and a whole bunch of other stuff that I need to do. So that's something I'm going to have to decide. So there's one part of the equation that I know, and that's that they did get me unloaded early, and it's going to give me enough time to do a 10 before I get my next load. The next part of the equation is, will the receiver that I'm delivering to in Lacombe, Louisiana, take this load early? It's a drop on the delivery, because I'm going to be delivering back in USA Truck's normal operating area, so it's going to be a drop. We a lot of drop and hooks at USA Truck. So it's going to be a drop on the delivery on this. And most of the time, whenever they give you a drop-loaded trailer and an appointment time, a specific time, not a window, then it means that you can drop the trailer at any time up to that point. It has to be delivered before the appointment time, but you can deliver it any time before the appointment time. So I need to message them and verify that's the case, because sometimes they fuck up and they don't put notes on there. The only two places, they'll send a message out every week or two reminding everybody. They'll say that on drop and hooks, on deliveries or pickups at Walmart, you cannot arrive early. And the reason they send those messages out is because everywhere else you do a drop and hook, you can arrive early. But Target and Walmart, you cannot arrive early on those. Even on a drop-loaded trailer, you have to arrive within your appointment window, or it costs USA Truck money. And as an owner-operator, USA Truck may pass that cost down to me. And it's really expensive. It's like $500 if you arrive a minute early at Walmart. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I can't tell if all of those are big trucks or some of them might be like Penske rental. But there's like at least 5 trucks behind me that are about to pass me. They're all going like 65. Big line of trucks. They're coming up on me at a pretty good rate of speed. I'm pretty sure they're going 65. I'm going 62. I'm not going to speed up. I'm going to let them all pass me. As long as I'm not getting constantly passed, we're good. And I haven't really been passing anybody at the speed that I'm at right now. I've passed some people, but not many. The only time I really passed a bunch of people was there was a bunch of people that were going faster than me, actually. A bunch of them had just recently passed me. And then a highway patrol went by. And they all slowed down to like 58. They were all going probably 65, and then highway patrol went by and they all slowed down to like 58. I kept going 62, and I ended up passing all of them, like 5 trucks. It might be these fuckers. They might have, gotten the balls to get back up to 65, 10 or 15 minutes after that highway patrol went by. Trucks. Alright, let's wrap this video up. So I need to figure out, I'm still undecided on whether or not I'm going through Oklahoma City or I'm going straight to the delivery in Louisiana. Now, one thing that will solidify the decision for me is if they are not going to take this delivery early, then I'm definitely going to my house, because I'm going to be like a day early on this delivery. And I would rather set up my house for that day than at a truck stop in Nolens. But if they will take this early, then I'm probably just going to get it there as fast as I possibly can and get a load going to my house. Because my house is only basically a day away from New Orleans. to my house after I deliver that load. Most likely, I'm going to get a load going from the New Orleans area to the Dallas area, and I'm going to drive from Dallas to my house. I've been checking the load board. I plan on checking the load board whenever I get to San Bernardino. Whenever I stop there, I'm going to check the load board again. They didn't have any loads listed on the load board for later in this week. The only load that picked up after I make this delivery, there was one load listed, and it's a load that doesn't pick up until like August 2nd or something like that. Every other load on the load board within 100 miles of New Orleans picked up before I make this delivery. Man, this road is rough. There's just holes all in this road. I don't know what is causing all these holes everywhere in the road. But something is causing a lot of holes in the road. It's like little tiny sinkholes. Trying to like drive around them because they'll just rattle you to death. So the place that I'm picking up from, this load's only supposed to be 21,000 pounds. If it's 40-some thousand pounds, I'm going to be a little pissed off. But I'm still going to haul it. It pays me over $2 a mile. I can't remember the exact. I want to say it's like $2.07 a mile, $2.10 a mile, somewhere in that area. It's 1,800 miles, and I'm going to make $3,700-ish dollars, somewhere in that area. I think the total load, the line haul on this is like $5,400, and I forget what the fuel surcharge is. Trucks. There's a big line of them that are going to be going around me, and some more of them are going around me right now. He chose to pass me going up a very small hill. I hope he's light enough. Oh yeah, he is. He's one of those like apple or tomato haulers. He's empty. They haul loaded going north and they're empty south. That must be like all he does is haul that crap, because he's got like a specialized truck. He, well, thanks for coming over that fucking close, you dumb shit. He only has a single rear axle. So, whenever he's not pulling a trailer, he can go the car speed limit. I suspect that's the reason that he has a specialized truck like that. Because it's, if you're pulling a trailer or if you have 3 or more axles, you're restricted to 55. I find out that I can deliver early, and I get, a guarantee that I can deliver early, then once I figure out what time I can get there, then I can start looking for a load that picks up after that time. Trailers say the same thing on the back of them, but all of the trucks have different names, like Joey Garcia Trucking or whatever. Like that trailer says Mike Lowry Trucking on it. The truck said Joey Garcia or something on it. So it looks like they're brokering out all of these apple or tomato loads, whatever the hell these things are. And it looked like a picture of a tomato on the back of the truck. On that trailer at the rear, it looked like a tomato. And they look like tomatoes from a distance, but once I got close to them and saw them, they really look like apples. But I'm guessing they're tomatoes, since I'm quite certain that was a picture of a tomato on the back of that trailer. Look, maybe they haul all kinds of different stuff. Maybe they haul apples and tomatoes depending on the season. Enterprises Incorporated out of Eugene, Oregon. Flatbedder. And that load is 3 or 4 feet extended past the front of his flatbed, and it's like 8 feet out the rear. So he just slammed on his brakes, and now he's moving over behind me. Don't slam on him too damn much. If I have to touch my brakes, I'm going to get in the left lane and go around this dumb shit. Nice awesome. Got this guy right fucking in front of me with shit hanging 8 to 10 feet out the back of this trailer. Somebody's this close in front of me. This is the reason that I keep increasing my speed, is because whenever I'm going slow, or slower than what everybody else is doing, then I'm constantly getting passed, and my following distance is like this all day long. So that's the reason I've been increasing my speed over and over, to try to find a speed where I'm just not constantly getting passed, constantly having people this close to me. So hopefully, this is just an anomaly. This is just a cluster of dumb shits that are going 10 over the speed limit. Not just going to be constantly overtaken. I see even more trucks behind me catching up with me. Like, how the fuck fast are people going in California? Like, I'm doing 7 over the speed limit, and I'm still just getting constantly passed. He's looking straight down at his phone. He's got like his elbows. He's driving with his damn elbows. He's holding his phone with both hands, thumbing out a message. Jackass. Sorry, give me just a minute. Just gonna have people this close in front of me all damn day, it appears. Here comes another one around me. And then about a half mile back, there's another pack of trucks about to pass me. This guy pulling the trailers under the same speed limit laws as us. Looks like the trailer is going to go ahead and go around that flatbed, so we have a decent following distance again. For a minute until this semi behind me catches up with me fast. Yeah, everything's kind of up in the air based on the load that I can get coming out of New Orleans, based on when I can deliver to New Orleans, based on when I can pick up the load. If they'll load me early, and loading me early leads me toward going to Oklahoma City, because that's even more time that I can spend at my house. Being able to deliver early leads me toward New Orleans. Being able to deliver, not being able to deliver early leads me toward my house. Like, even if I can only swing by my house for a couple hours, if they won't take the load early, then I'm probably still going to swing. I'm going to swing by my house, even if I can only do it for a couple hours, if they won't take the load early, because it's just a huge waste of my time to sit at a truck stop waiting to unload. Slower than me. There's 4 that I can see. Yeah, 4 of them look like. They have a different style trailer than the ones headed north. That could just be because it's a different company. Faster than me. They're either going the same speed or faster. It looks like they're catching up with me. So those 4 trucks are going to be passing me. Once we get to Grapevine, I'll be flying around most of these people going up the hill. But there's going to be people passing me as well, because Grapevine has a truck speed limit going up and downhill. I forget what it is. I want to say it's 40 miles an hour. And there are a lot of empty trucks that are going like 60 miles an hour up the hill. And I'm not going to go 20 over the speed limit and risk a 20 over ticket ruining my career. Like, it would just, if I got a 20 over ticket, it would end my career. I would be uninsurable in this industry for like 3 years. So, yeah, I don't want to do that. This truck's pretty close to my ass end. He's probably going to go around any second now. And all of his buddies are going to be right behind him. Schneider that's not running at their governor. Schneider is governed at 63 most, well, a lot of their trucks are. I won't say most, but a lot. 63 is the, like, Schneider's governed speed. It depends on what fleet you're in. It depends on whether you're a solo or a team driver. And sometimes, even if you're not supposed to be in a truck governed at 65, you'll get one, because they forgot to change the governor on it. Maybe you got a truck that the previous driver was a team and they're governed at 65, and you're solo and you're supposed to be governed at 63, but they forgot to change it. Well, then you got a truck governed at 65 at Schneider. But most of the Schneiders I've run across California have been running right out their governor of 63 or 65. Like this one is probably doing 60. I'm slowly catching up with him. This guy's just riding my ass. I'm surprised he hasn't tried to pass yet. He's probably going to wait until I get right up close to Schneider, and then he's going to whip out and try to box me in behind Schneider to pass. So, at this point, if he tries to whip out and pass me, I'm going to whip out at the same time to get around Schneider. Maybe. I don't know. Depends on how close I am to Schneider. But I think that's what he's trying to do, is pin me behind Schneider. As he's leaning out, looking. And I'm actually going to speed up right now, because there's an opening in the left lane with the four-wheelers. So I'm going to go ahead and get it out around Schneider while it's good. So let's talk about the place that I'm going to be stopping for the night. Well, not for the night, but probably for my 10. So, the place I'm picking up from in San Bernardino. It's a big warehouse. And I checked Trucker Path for parking spots near there, in case I have to set and wait for my pickup appointment. And they, excuse me. No water, no jobs. So these farmers that own the property up and down this road, I'm getting a ton of messages. The farmers on the property up and down this road have a bunch of signs about water. You know, you need to build dams and stuff. Water is their lifeblood, you know, type thing. Well, that produce hauler sped up really fast and whipped around Schneider just like I did. He actually got up faster than me, and he's right up on my ass again. So it works out so that on Trucker Path I found some parking that's basically, it's not quite right across the street, but it's basically like almost right across the street from the place that I'm going to be picking up from. There's a dirt lot, and it's right next to a Denny's. It's supposedly across the street from Denny's. So across the street from Denny's, there's a dirt lot, and so I can park there, walk across the street, Denny's, get food, come back over to my truck, eat, play video games, take, you know, a nap, get some sleep. I don't know how much sleep I'm going to be able to get because I'm only going to be up. I just got a full night's sleep. I woke up at 6 a.m. and I'm going to get there at about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So I'm only going to be awake for maybe 8 hours. So what would be really awesome is if they could load me early and I could just keep continuing my day, because I don't think I'm going to be able to sleep much. Which means that whenever I do get my hours back, I'm going to be tired. But I'm going to have to drive, because that's the way the hours of service work. So it looks like this produce hauler might be content with just chilling behind me. He's backed off a little bit, so it looks like he might be just pacing me. He's just going to hang out behind me. So if I have to stay and wait until my appointment tonight, then I'll have a good place to park and wait, and it's going to be close enough that I can use personal conveyance to, you know, go back and forth and not interrupt my hours, my off-duty time. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the shipper, see if they'll take me early. If they won't, then I'm going to do my post-trip and everything right there on the spot. Use personal conveyance to go over to that parking lot, and then use personal conveyance to return back to the shipper at my appointment time if they won't take me early. That's my day, and whether or not I'm going to swing by my house on the way to New Orleans is still up in the air. It's, I think it's 150 miles difference. 150 miles extra if I go through Oklahoma City. So 3 hours. What I would prefer to do is just get to New Orleans as fast as possible not so much like being at home, but being able to take care of things I need to take care of. Like laundry, I'm running out of clean clothes. I'm starting to stress out right now about getting home because I'm getting to that point where I'm running out of clothes. I think I have 3 sets of clothes left, 3 pair of socks. I have more than 3 underwear, and I think I have more than 3 tops and bottoms, but the limiting factor is a pair of socks I have left. I think I have 3 pair of clean socks left. And I think the reason socks are my shortage is because there's been a couple of times that I haven't been able to take a shower for a few days, that I've gone ahead and cleaned my feet with the Clorox wipes and changed socks. Stuff in this field to the right. Antennas on that pickup truck. I've been thinking about getting a cell amplifier, a cell signal amplifier. The rate environment is improving. So somebody just sent out a message about a quick market update. So the market was going up. Looks like the market went back down, and now the market's going back up again. So what probably happened was all the states and everybody started reopening, and that caused the market to go up and rates improved. Then they started talking about going back into lockdowns, and some states did go back into lockdowns, and that probably caused a lot of places to preemptively slow down shipping stuff for fear of, them not being able to move product. So stores might have stopped ordering as much in anticipation of the lockdowns going back into effect, restaurants or whatever. And then the lockdowns actually started happening. And then there was a lot of built-up demand from everybody that kind of was preemptively backing off. So they had to go ahead and order stuff, and then that would cause the volume of freight to go back up again. So we're probably going to be in a very volatile market for a while, as long as this virus thing is going on. Until it becomes until they have enough data to figure out how to adjust their logistics departments to the ebb and flow of the virus. Once they have enough data to be able to determine what their volume is going to be like during lockdowns and during the various measures that they're doing to slow down the spread, then once they have all that data, they'll be able to tell how much stuff they need to order and how much they need to change. And it's probably not going to be as volatile, as spiky, because right now we're dealing with knee-jerk reactions because they don't really know what the hell is going on. Everybody's just afraid of getting caught with their pants down. So as time goes on, this will become semi-normal, and we'll have some volatility should decrease over time. there's always things going on. The freight industry is going to be affected by pretty much anything. Oil prices, war, viruses, like, we move everything. So if there's something that happens anywhere, the truckers are going to be impacted. Alright, so we got a Penske or something up here. What the hell's going on? Looks like they're pulling over. By me moving over, he was able to see those vehicles and see whether or not there was somebody standing on the shoulder or on the fog line. I mean, they were standing on the shoulder, but he was able to see where they're at. If I wouldn't have moved over, he wouldn't have been able to see them at all until he was right up on them. Following way too damn close. Yeah, there are 3 of those produce haulers behind me. I don't know what happened to the 4th one. There was at least 4 of them. They got on at that on-ramp. The 4th one's probably not willing to go as fast as the rest of them. Man, that's a nice tractor. It had, like, tracks, not marble. They didn't have tires, it had tracks. That van must have pulled off in a rest area or something, because I remember that van was just chilling behind a truck going slow. And whenever I went out to pass that truck, that van decided he wanted to go faster, and he whipped out and passed that truck that he had been hanging out behind for a long time. And now he's hauling ass. I think that's about it for this video. I don't really have much else to say. I can't think of anything. I've been trying to think about something else to say. Just gonna be driving for like 4 more hours, 4 or 5 more hours to get to San Bernardino. See if they'll. This is man. What is this load? I want to say it's Smuckers. Food ingredients, and I want to say it's going to like some alcohol place, so it might be something that they use to mix to make like fruit flavored alcohol or something, you know, like what is one of them, like cinnamon schnapps or something. It might be the seasoning or flavored alcohol. But it says food ingredients, and I'm pretty sure I'm picking up or delivering to Smuckers. I think I'm picking up from Smuckers and delivering to, I could have swore it was some kind of like wine place. get there at 2 o'clock, I was thinking it was 3 hours difference between Pacific time and Central time. And I think it's only 2 hours. It's 3 hours difference from East Coast time. If I get there at 2, then it should still be 4 p.m. Central time, so my driver manager should still be there. I don't want to ask after hours and weekend if I can deliver this early. It'll just give me some bullshit answer. I won't be able to, it means nothing. Anything they tell me means nothing because they just make up shit off the top of their head. Oh wow, all of those, I didn't even notice them pull off. But all of those produce haulers are gone. They all took an exit. Must have been the last exit. But I should still be good. You know, if I get there at 2 o'clock, it should be 4 Central Time. And my driver manager should be the one that answers the question on whether or not I can deliver early. Because I don't trust asking after hours weekend. I'll ask them and they'll tell me whatever floats their boat, whatever is on the top of their head. And then I will make arrangements based on what they tell me, and I'll be pissed off whenever I get there. Like they'll say, oh yeah, it's a drop loaded trailer, you can deliver that early. And I'll get there and they won't take it early and I'll have to sit for a day at a truck stop. Well, if I'd have known that, I would definitely have gone by my house. Or, you know, if I decide to go by my house because they tell me that I know I can't deliver it early, and then I get there and find out that I could have delivered it early, then I'm going to be pissed off because I went all the way to my house just to spend like 2 hours at my house when I could have delivered this a day early and been at my house today and, you know, had a full 3-day weekend or a week off, however much time I decide to take off. So I'm going to ask my driver manager. My driver manager, if she doesn't know, she'll actually usually reach out to the account manager or somebody and get a real answer rather than just making it up off the top of her head. I haven't caught her making shit up yet. And it pisses me off whenever I'll never trust them again. If I ever catch them one time making shit up, then I'll never trust them. And there's a bunch of after hours and weekend driver managers that just make shit up. I understand that account managers aren't available 24/7 and all their resources they need to give me real answers are not always available. Tell me that. Don't make shit up. Tell me, you know, all I can see is what's on the order. I would guess that you could drop it early, but the account manager isn't available to ask to clarify. You'll have to check in during normal hours when the account managers are here to get, a sure answer. That's the kind of response I would prefer to get rather than just making shit up off the top of your head. But I think a lot of them are so insecure, they have such low self-esteem, or I don't know what the reason is. They just make shit up. I've worked around a lot of people that were like that. They were just afraid to say that they didn't know. That is a place where I stopped and took the 30. That is definitely one of the rest areas that I took the 30 at. I remember that one. Alright, so I'm going to end the video there. If anything interesting happens, I'll probably make another video. Thanks for watching. Have a good one. Bye.